and decided on the floor. Let's now go to River State, where our NTA correspondent. All right, before we go to Port Harcourt, we'll be joining the National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ekpen to give us more perspective on the state of emergency that has been declared by the President. Good morning, Mitari.
Yeah, good morning, Comfort.
All right, let me begin asking you to, for clarity's sake, give us a perspective and position of the lawmakers on the state of emergency in River State and what this law is about, what the law says actually about their roles in this direction.
Yes, as it stands today, Rivers State is the eye of the storm. And that is because the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, and he has announced the suspension of the governor and the deputy, as well as members of the State House of Assembly in Rivers State for a period of 6 months. Now, the President did that. He hinged his decision on disturbing security reports which he had about the vandalization of critical national infrastructure in Rivers State, and he has already announced the declaration of that state of emergency. And here is the beauty of democracy. It is not enough for the President to make that declaration. There has to be checks and balance, because there is a separation of powers, and that's where the National Assembly comes in to ratify the decision of the President. And we have a situation as it stands now where House spokesman in a statement last night said that the National Assembly was duly consulted before the state of emergency was declared by the President by 7 p.m. last night in a nationwide broadcast. The spokesman in the statement said that leaders of the National Assembly as well as security chiefs were with the President ahead of that broadcast that was made last night, and they all gave their assent to the decision of the President. But it does not stop there, because he also said that the President has formally transmitted a formal letter of request to the National Assembly's, specifically said to the House of Representatives. And that is because when the President makes such a declaration of a state of emergency, the National Assembly, the two chambers of the National Assembly, talking about the Senate and the House of Representatives, have to ratify the declaration of the President by two-thirds majority. And so that is the beauty of democracy, like I stated. At this point in time, I have joining me on set Representative Patrick Umar, who is the Chairman, House Committee on Legislative Agenda. Honorable Patrick Umar, can you tell us, with what is playing out today, what should we expect in Parliament today?
Well, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in compliance with the provisions of Section 305 of our Constitution, that's the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, has issued a proclamation which I want to presume has been transmitted to the National Assembly. Of course, as provided by law, that transmission must be done within 2 days if the National Assembly is in session, or if not in session, it must be transmitted within 10 days. And the House has the obligation under law to sit and consider the proclamation of the state of emergency, which, of course, I also would want to presume will come up this morning since we have plenary. Now, the President has done so, and there are reasons why this has been done, and it is now public knowledge, which, of course, are stipulated in the Constitution, where there is a threat to the order or peace in any part of the Federation, whether a community, whether a state. It is incumbent on Mr. President to take such decisions. And then on the other hand, it is also possible that this can be requested by the governor. Either way, but the President has declared a state of emergency. And so it is now the obligation of Parliament to consider the validity or otherwise of such proclamation, and then we take our decision. And again, Parliament also has the mandate pursuant to Section 305 of the Constitution to extend the duration after 6 months as provided for in the Constitution. So all of that will come into play today as we meet our convene at plenary. And we are here to serve Nigerians and to look at the issues, argue either way, and then we take our decision as a Parliament in consultation with the Senate, because it's a bicameral legislation.